A lot of Red Sox on the show today. We'll get to the Patriots coming up. We'll get to our second day.
We might get to the Patriots right now.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this program.
This is breaking news. Breaking news on WEEI is presented by the BetMGM Network. For all your betting needs, check out the newly rebranded BetMGM Network on the Odyssey app or locally on WEEI AM 850.
Well, according to Adam Schefter, the New England Patriots are trading quarterback Joe Milton to the Dallas Cowboys.
For what?
No word on a return just yet.
Well, that makes a big difference,
It
Schefter.
sure does. His note is, with Cooper Rush going to Baltimore, Dallas now has a new backup quarterback. It's like, yeah, we don't care about that. What'd they get? So this literally just came out from Schefter. Joe Milton to the Cowboys.
Okay,
no word yet on a return. I'm hoping it's CeeDee Lamb.
Imagine.
Look, I don't want to sit on the fence until I know what the return is. I don't know if I like it or
Get
not.
off the fence.
Get
off the fence.
I'm not surprised they traded him.
I love it. Great move. No, we have no idea what it's for.
I don't think it's shocking. If it's for like a 4th or 5th round pick, I don't like it.
I will be really surprised if it's just a 4th. Or no. I don't know if I'll be surprised. I'll be mad too. I think 3rd round pick, I'm doing it. 4th round pick is really where it comes down to, like, it's pretty good value. Hopefully you never see Joe Milton play.
Your girl Rossini.
Well,
Milton and a 7th to Dallas for a 5th. Yeah, that stinks.
I don't like that.
I don't like that at all.
I really don't like that.
I'd rather keep Joe Milton
and
work with him on the roster, not revisionist history. I felt this way going way back to the end of the year. I'm like, if you're not getting a day 2 pick for Milton, and maybe that's asking too much.
This is a day 3 pick.
If you're not getting a day 2 pick, and you had to throw in a 7th,
I was
which
say,
I don't care about.
It's not even a straight up 5th.
No,
which I wouldn't have done. And not that like the 7th is so important, but it's all about, moving up and down and kind of haggling with prices. That is really, really bizarre. So I don't know. Did they say what number it is? Because I'm looking it up. Dallas has 150. No, 149.
And the Pats have 2 7ths, right? I believe off the top of my head.
Yeah, but Dallas also has 174. They have a couple 5th round picks. Not that we really need to get into the weeds on this. And one.
I don't like it.
74.
I don't like it.
Do they have 3 5th round picks?
And I disagree. Look at this Twitch chat. Twitch.tv/Boston WEEI. You guys can weigh in. Joe Milton traded 617-779-7937 for a 5th. Play the sounder, Keefe. No, Twitch chat.
Elliot Wolf just traded away our guy.
No.
Trade him back.
This is more proof who's running the show. It's Vrabel.
No, Wolf drafted him.
Wolf drafted the guy.
So you can't blame Wolf for this.
It was a good pick.
Yeah.
I can't imagine Wolf wanted to trade him, although maybe that was the whole idea. You bring him in, you develop him, you move him. But you can blame Vrabel for this.
Looks like we lucked out. We maybe have 2 quarterbacks.
Not anymore.
Only if you can trade up to a 5th. So going from a 7th to a 5th, is that the equivalent of a 6th?
They have the Pastronaut.
Is that equivalent to like a 6th then?
Yeah.
If it's a pick swap.
On value.
You're not gaining a pick. You're giving up a 7th to move up at, 50, 60 spots?
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't think this is the end of the world by any means,
care for the return.
I don't either. I don't think it's the end of the world, but if you're asking me if I like the trade, I don't. So he was a 6th rounder a year ago.
Yeah.
Had a good training camp in preseason. Had one, and admittedly meaningless game against the Bills.
Beat the Bills.
He beat
Josh Allen, who started that game.
Yes.
He started that game.
Thank you. He beat
head-to-head to beat Josh Allen.
He beat the MVP of the league, is what he did. He was a 6th rounder, and a year later, you turn him into a 5th rounder, and you had to throw in a 7th?
He still has a rocket for an arm, doesn't he?
So, I don't like it. That'd be my main takeaway. I don't like it, number one.
Or they pissed at him for costing them the number 1 pick.
Maybe
and they're like, hey, dude, take a hike.
We're still paying for this. No, so I don't like it.
First.
I don't mind that you traded him. I didn't need him on the roster. But if you weren't going to get something in the 3rd round, I don't get the point in doing this now. I feel like his value would go up. And so I don't like doing it now. And secondarily, the main takeaway, stop blaming Wolf.
No.
The main takeaway is it is the Vrabel. It's more confirmation. It's the Vrabel show.
No, we've known for a while Wolf has really no real power, real say. And by trading away his 6th round pick, who looks like a pretty good 6th round pick, and if Dallas is already willing to make him the backup, because that was the other thing. Like, he is obviously pretty raw. We saw him against a bunch of backups in Buffalo. He really wasn't the backup quarterback all season, right? It was Brissett and May, and then those 2 flipped, and then Milton was the 3rd guy. And so now he's already going to be the backup in Dallas, which seems like a little bit of a surprise. But no, I mean, I would have held on to him. if this was the return. Because here's the other thing. You and I both like Drake May. Drake May got hurt twice, right? He had to leave games twice. So he might not be a guy that goes 17. You might actually need a backup the way Drake May has played.
100%.
And Josh Dobbs is fine, but that is a one or two kind of, hey, he's done it before, veteran patchwork guy.
Now I don't even like the Dobbs signing. It's like, okay,
this got him out.
I was initially on board with the Dobbs signing. I'm like, whatever. You can carry 3 quarterbacks these days and continue to develop Milton, and Dobbs is a more NFL-ready backup if you need to win a game. If you're going to go with a longer stretch, then maybe I'd skew to Milton. Now I don't even know that I like the Josh Dobbs signing. And I think he's a fine backup. But now I don't even know that. But I agree. You need a backup here. I think you need a backup for Dak as well. He's had his injuries. But the text line points out, Keefe, maybe this frees up the Cowboys to move on from Dak Prescott.
Go to Cleveland, right? Was that Browns talk?
Dak to Cleveland?
Get ready for this one. I got a pretty darn good source.
Oh,
within
yeah.
the Browns organization.
Yeah?
Who was it?
I heard since our last show, that part of the reason Myles Garrett was so willing to sign this extension for contract, money. The Browns are negotiating as we speak with the Dallas Cowboys for a trade for Dak Prescott.
Okay,
God, that guy was too close to it.
Put that back on the table.
All right, so they're saying it is a compensatory pick. I think Schefter is saying. So I was just looking this up. Not that it really matters, but we're draft guys. We're getting into the draft.
We're draft guys.
So the Cowboys, I believe, had 3 fifth-round picks. They had their own, which was 149, and then they had a couple of these compensatory picks, which are going to be 171 and 174. So apparently it's one of those ones. Okay. So it's not even their highest fifth-round pick.
Joe Milton was the 193rd pick in the draft a year ago,
and
you're going to get
getting that back.
174 for him?
Yep.
Yeah, that's bad business. And you had to throw in a 7th? That's bad business. I don't like that.
You don't even add a pick, and you just get rid of Milton?
Boo.
Don't like it.
Boo.
Why not just keep him? There's no reason to get rid of the guy.
Why not just keep him?
Vrabel clearly doesn't like him or want to work, or McDaniels doesn't like him or want to work with him.
Or
what?
Your starting quarterback doesn't like him breathing down his neck. Doesn't like the owner saying
is this
we have
a Brady Garoppolo situation?
I don't know. Like, you answer. It doesn't make any sense. So So answer. Maybe Vrabel hates him. Possible answer. Maybe Drake May doesn't like him. Possible answer.
So somebody in the text line is saying maybe they're going to draft another quarterback, but this is not a great quarterback draft, and I would hate that even more.
Isn't that Wolf's whole thing? Draft a quarterback every year.
Yeah, I would have no problem.
Yeah, I guess. This is not a good class.
Take a guy in the 6th. Fine, I would have no problem with that. But I'm not moving on from Milton to take a guy in the 6th. I don't think the idea is every year you just bring in a guy, trade him for garbage, and then draft another guy. Like, that wasn't the Packers' plan. The Packers' plan back in when Elliott Wolf's father was running the Packers was
Brian Braum and Matt Flynn in the same draft.
Draft him, keep him for a couple of years, turn him into an asset, flip him. Draft them, keep them for a couple of years, turn them into an asset, flip them. And if they're not an asset after 1 year, cut them, move on, and cut your losses.
So the texter, we weren't expecting a 3rd for a Milton.
No.
I'm just saying that I would for sure do. Even a 4th, maybe I would probably do. But a pick swap, a late 5th, and you have to give up a 7th, I would just, at that point, I would just keep him. I'm not expecting the world for Milton. I did also talk myself into some of those, hey, Milton and a pick for Jacoby Myers, or Milton and like a higher pick for Chris Olave. Like, if you use him as a draft sweetener, as a lot of us GMs like to use that verbiage, we say sweetener. If you did that, it made more sense. But just simply moving up like 30 picks makes no sense to me.
Boo.
Don't care. Don't care for it.
Oh, maybe you could get Jacoby Myers for him. Maybe you could get a day 2 pick. And again, that's what I wanted. I agree. I thought that was probably asking for too much, but that's what I wanted. Otherwise, I'm not getting out of bed and trading Joe Milton. Patriots feel differently. They add a 5th. They had to throw in a 7th, so as Keith pointed out, there's no net gain. You just moved up from the 7th to the 5th.
You have the same number of draft picks and no Joe Milton.
And now the Dallas Cowboys have Joe Milton. And so why is he gone? Riddle me that. 617-779-7937. Is it as simple as Vrabel doesn't like him? It's possible. Vrabel's running the show and says, not my guy. Or does Drake May not like the owner saying we have 2 quarterbacks? And Drake May says, I'd rather work with a veteran like Josh Dobbs. I don't need this guy in my same draft class with a rocket arm looking over my shoulder. I don't know if that's true, but I'm starting to wonder. 617-779-7937. What do you think about Joe Milton on his way to Dallas for not much? He was the 193rd pick last year. His pick sounds like it's in the 170s.
Yikes.
So that's not much of an improvement at the end of the day. You guys can jump in all day long here on Jones and Keefe. We'll continue our draft preview series coming up at 10:45. Offensive lineman. will be what's in focus coming up at 10:45. We can still mix in some Red Sox thoughts, but let's react to Joe Milton, no longer a New England Patriot.